What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Keeping Up with the Commanders. Today we have breaking news coming out of Ashburn. The Commanders have purchased a 200-acre plot of land in Woodbridge, Virginia, which is about 40 minutes south of Washington, D.C. For the people that don't know the local area. To buy this land, Washington had to pay $100 million, which is a lot of money for a 200-acre plot of land. Now, before I get into what this land could be used for, I do want to say that nothing is official at this time. Well, the Washington buying this plot of land is official, but what could be on it, there's nothing really. Washington hasn't said anything or done anything saying that they're going to put a stadium here, they're going to put a practice facility here. The first thing I want to talk about, though, is the chances of it being a stadium, which is turning out to be pretty high likelihood. And I think this is because they're paying $100 million. I mean, they're not going to pay this all at once. It's probably going to be over a period of time. But that's still a lot of money. And if you just do a practice facility or maybe your headquarters there on a 200-acre plot of land, I mean, yeah, but that's a lot of money for something that's just going to be a headquarters or a practice facility. I also do want to mention their headquarters in Ashburn is not that big. This area that they're buying is, I believe, it's a whole lot bigger than their area that they have now in Ashburn. So that's definitely another case to the reason why that this is probably going to be a stadium going here. This also means that this is land purchased in Virginia. And there's been debate whether this stadium is going to be in Virginia, if it's going to stay in Maryland, if it's maybe even going to go back to RFK Stadium in D.C. This could start, I know J.P. Finley, I think, said this, but this could start going to a bidding war if the states want to bid on having the team. I mean, Virginia, they don't have a professional team in any sport, actually, play in Virginia, so this could be their first. While Maryland are trying to keep the Commanders in Maryland if they want to, which they already have because they offered $400 million to Washington already, to say to redo what they already have at FedEx Field, not to really give them a new stadium, but to kind of brighten up the area, you know. And then you have DC, where it's unlikely that they go back to RFK Stadium because of all the government stuff, because it's government-owned property. So you gotta hurdle all of these government laws and everything if you want to go back into RFK Stadium, which I believe that's where DC United plays now, I want to say. Now there's also the chance that this becomes a practice facility or the headquarters for the Commanders, which, again, I already said this, but I don't really see that happening because they're paying so much money. I wouldn't really see a practice facility be here. Also, the Panthers, they came up with a practice facility, and they were in the middle of building it. I believe it was the Panthers. It might have been another team, but I think it was the Panthers who were in the middle of building a ginormous practice facility that they purchased a plot of land for a whole lot of money, and then they just stopped it. It's halfway done, and nothing's been gone to it. They stopped it a few months ago. So, another thing where you might not want to pay a whole lot of money if you're just going to stop it, but due to, I don't know the reasons why, but they kind of just stopped production of it halfway through, and that was a bunch of wasted money by them. So Washington, I guess, is probably not trying to do that and lose a lot of money, which, while already on the downside of money because we're not selling that much tickets and we're already closing off parts of the stadium, to then say our stadium is full capacity when it's sold out because we always cut down some of the not so great seats. Now here, when the news first came out, there were reports, and still more coming out at this time, that the Commanders are trying to build a mini city around the stadium if the stadium goes here. And this mini city would include practice facilities, their headquarters, restaurants, shops, nightlife, and hotels, plus work buildings and work spots to work outside, and an amphitheater which can hold 15,000 to 20,000 people. And this is an idea I love. Yes, traffic might be pretty bad, and it's already off I-95, which is not a great highway in terms of if you want not a lot of traffic. So the traffic will pretty not that great, but having all of this stuff, and if they add their practice facility and headquarters all on this area, I think this is a really good idea. Plus you have restaurants and shops and all that, so fans that want to experience tailgating and stuff They can tailgate before the game, and then if they're not going to buy tickets, they can just go to a nearby restaurant or something and experience the game on a television there, while you can probably still hear the crowd noise back in the background. So I think this is a really great idea by the Commanders. And now here talking about the stadium itself, it's a 60,000 seat domed stadium, which is, I would say, significantly smaller than FedEx Field, which is 82,000 seats. I believe at one point it was 91,000 when it was first built, but it's now 82,000, so cutting down on the seats for some reason. It will also have a roof that is able to change color basically whenever. So it's kind of like SoFi Stadium, where SoFi Stadium you can project stuff on the roof, but with this one you can change the colors. So John Keim, the ESPN reporter for the Commanders, said that as an example, it can be like the stadium's roof and all the sides can be white during the day, and then at night, if the Commanders have a primetime game, so let's say Sunday Night Football, it's going to turn burgundy at night. I think this idea is really great. These new stadiums that are popping up around the league, like SoFi Stadium and Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, this stadium, from what I've seen so far, is looking really similar to both of those, being kind of a long dome shape. And then also, like, the field's going to be underground, so when you walk into the stadium, you're not going to be on field level, but you're going to be like on the middle level or on one of the higher levels, so that when you come in, you're looking down on the field, which I really like for these new next generation kind of stadiums. Going back to the number of seats, I do think that is going to be a problem. 60,000 seats is a lot, yes, but it's, again, I mentioned, on the lower side of what NFL stadiums have been. And SoFi Stadium, my favorite stadium right now, is 72,000 seats, I believe, and Allegiant is up there as well. So for a new stadium, 60,000 seats is not a lot. Now, of course, you can't have an announcement without some Dan Snyder issues. So on Saturday, reports came out saying that NFL owners are voting, or are going to vote, to force Dan Snyder to sell the team. And for NFL owners to do this, I believe 24 of the 31, or 24 of the 32, I guess. I don't know if Dan Snyder is voting for himself or not, but 24 of them have to vote against it or have to vote with it to kick him out, for Dan Snyder to actually get kicked out. And looking at this, I don't think NFL owners will do this. Yes, Dan Snyder is, the owners themselves, looking at Dan Snyder, if they kicked out Dan Snyder probably has a bunch of dirt on all of them, and he's going to release that and get them kicked out of their spots too. But I think the finding out that Dan Snyder's been keeping money away from these NFL owners that should have gone to these owners is why the owners are now kind of on the other side of voting Dan Snyder out. So I really think this could be like a coin flip of if he does get out or not, if they do have a vote. But it's going to be interesting to see over these next few months heading into the first season, really, of the team that he just rebranded, and seeing if they're going to kick him out here before the start of the season. We've also seen in the past the Commanders announce big announcements and big things like this right after reports on Dan Snyder saying, like, Dan Snyder did something bad. And this is no different right here. On Saturday, Dan Snyder gets, the owners announcer. On Saturday, we find out that the owners are probably going to be voting to kick out Dan Snyder, and then 48 hours later, the Commanders are looking at a new stadium and buying parts of land and stuff. So this is no different right here for the Commanders. Overall, I am really excited to see what the plans here for the stadium and where the stadium's going to be, because yes, it's really looking like now it's going to be in Woodbridge, Virginia, but it could still go back up to Prince William County in Maryland, or maybe Loudoun County or Prince George's County as well, which are in Northern Virginia. Those two are also have been spots for the stadium. Plus, maybe the slim chance it goes back to RFK or not could be something to look forward to too. FedEx Field, the lease for that field ends in 2027 after that 2026-2027 season. So there's not a big rush to get a new stadium being built or anything, but this is going to be really interesting to see how the team approaches this moving forward, if they're going to sign a new lease or like a new contract or whatever with the stadium and the government and stuff to stay at FedEx Field past 2027 or not. But more and more, it's looking like Washington's going to build a new stadium. Thank you guys for watching another episode of Keeping Up with the Commanders. We are back. I was gone for a little bit, but now We're going to be back. It's summer. Time for some more episodes. All my socials on the link below. See you guys in the next one. Peace.